It's official. Car season has begun here in the Northeast. It's Spring Carlisle 2024. And we have the whole venue to bring for you in this video. And first I want to start off and talk about this 1976 Pontiac Trans Am. And we do have the owner standing here, and this is Ron. And Ron, how are you?
I'm good, Parker. Nice to meet you.
Good. And before we even get in the gate here, what can you tell us about this car? I had to stop and ask you about it. It just looks like you found it right out of a barn.
Right out of the barn, just like you said. Come out of a estate sale in West Virginia, out by Charlestown. Bought it a few years ago. And of course the motor wasn't in the car and the transmission wasn't in the car, but I got all the parts, you know what I mean? Which is kind of cool to have the original numbers matching transmission and rear that goes to the car and the motor, you know what I mean? So
you do have the motor?
Yes, I do have the engine, yes.
And you were showing me something cool about the transmission.
The last four digits on the VIN right here is 1971.
Okay.
Which is kind of unique, you know.
That's kind of cool.
And the last four digits on that transmission right here is 1971 also.
And
so that's the transmission that was born with this car, which is cool.
I was going to say, do you know what kind of transmission this is?
This is a Super T10.
A Super T10?
Yes.
Now, I do know that in 76, the 455s that got the HO or the high output motor, all of those were four-speed transmissions.
Cars, which they only built 7,528 of them.
Awesome, and I
total.
see.
And being a Starlight Black car, only 319 of them were Starlight Black and the gold trim.
And that would have been 319 out of the 7,000.
Yes.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
now, would this stuff originally had a bird on the hood?
I guess it might have, but as you can see, I'm sure this isn't the original front clip because you can see under here it's yellow.
Okay.
So yellow.
Okay, so it was replaced.
So I think it was whacked one time back in the day.
See the yellow down
and the yellow, but it's true by the cow plate.
It says 319 on it.
No, it says what is it? 19.
Okay.
The trim and the paint code is 19
Gotcha.
for Starlight Black.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, Ron, I appreciate you telling us about it. How much are you asking for this car?
$8,500.
$8,500, and you can see his phone number right here. If you're interested in the car, give him a call.
Thank you for your time, Parker. I love your show, man. It's great, man.
Thank you for the encouragement. I'm standing here with Steve, and Steve actually did not purchase this truck here. He bought it on the way here. Is that correct?
Yeah, I bought it in December and made arrangements to pick it up on the way here. I'm a 4-hour drive.
4-hour drive?
From Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. And
the reason I wanted to talk to Steve is that's because this is an extremely rare truck. Is that right?
Yes, correct. It's a 1958 Cameo Chevrolet. It was a special order truck in '58. They only made 1,405 of them. So, I mean, that was like nothing.
And the reason being is because this has like a fiberglass bed, right?
Yeah, made by Corvette. They actually did the molds and poured the glass for this. So this was the hot rod of trucks. It was the first high-end luxury truck, and it sold for $3,200 in 1958. And you could buy a step side for $1,500. So you could buy 2 step-side trucks for the price of this Cameo. That's why they didn't sell very many.
Now, is this a big back window Cameo?
Yeah, they only came with big back windows.
They only came with that. Okay. And I've actually never seen a real Cameo in person before. Obviously, they made 1,400 of them, like you said. Is there anything else that maybe you could teach us about this truck, or anything that's interesting that we would want to know while we're here? Or?
The overriders were a special option. All the stainless and the chrome around it was a special.
To this truck only? To
this truck. Well, it could be ordered.
It could be ordered, okay.
What's really cool is the back bumper and the way the tailgate came down. There's retractable stainless steel lines in there.
Is that only for this truck, or was
only for this truck?
Only
yes.
for this truck. Okay.
And it was a total redesign by Chevrolet for a very fancy, elegant truck for twice the money as a regular truck.
And what is your plans with this truck, Steve?
I'm building a rat rod Cameo.
Rat rod. Gotcha. Okay.
I've built several Cameos now, and this will be my 4th one. But I'm going to leave the chrome pitted.
Okay.
Just the way it is, the patina.
I like it just the way it looks also.
Yeah, I'll lower it, and I'm going to put a 348 with trips. Be a 3 on the tree, and I'll drive it. In August, I came to the Truck Nationals with a 57 Cameo, and out of the 2,800 trucks that were here, it was the only Cameo. So pretty neat piece. They're awesome.
Definitely super rare. Were they basically the same thing from here forward as just a regular truck? Or
Yes, they were.
Everything from here backward is what was different about
Correct.
them. Okay, awesome. And what is the hauler that you have here? This is a pretty interesting piece too.
53 Ford. It's called a ramp truck.
Ram truck. Gotcha. Okay.
Yes, I have a winch on it, and I'm able to winch projects up or hot rods or whatever I'm using it today. Yeah.
Awesome. Well, Steve, thank you so much for talking to us about it, and enjoy the truck.
All right, Parker. Very nice meeting you. Take care.
So I'm standing here with Walter, and this is Walter's 1972 Chevelle. And Walter, you're asking $37,000 for this car. What can you tell us about it? I mean, it looks well in person.
It's a clean car. It was restored a little while ago. Everything was done.
Okay.
The floors are mint in this car. It's a solid driver. You can drive this car California and back.
Was it originally a super sport car?
No, this is a clone.
It is a clone.
It is a clone,
It is a
correct.
clone.
But everything was done correct in it. It does have the F41 suspension in it, the SS dash. Everything was done correct in it.
And when you say the SS dash, it has the circle pods in it.
Yes, it's not a sweep dash.
Yep, and that's kind of...
It'll have the gauges in it.
Chevelle does that for a few years.
Yes.
And the interior in there, I mean, the carpet looks perfectly fine on there. Automatic car, them seats look really,
Everything's
really
clean.
well.
Yep, everything was put in new, correct.
When was this painted?
It's been quite a few years.
This
is a Texas car.
It still looks like it's holding up
It's a
well.
driver. It's been driven. I bought it from a police officer, and he drove the car, and I bought this for my son, and he drove it for a little while, and he's ready to upgrade to a 4-speed big block car.
Oh, there you go. We'll go over here. We'll get the phone number for Walter, and then your buddy's also selling the Mustang next door, or it's sold actually, right?
Yeah, he sold it, but the guy that bought it's reselling it.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
And we'll get Walter's phone number here for the 72 SS clone. And I see here it's called Gulf Green.
Gulf Green, that's the color,
I
correct.
know that. I do
Yep.
like the color a lot. And this car over here was sold?
Yes, that sold this morning actually.
66, looks like a coupe. Says it's got a 302 C4, which would be the automatic.
GT40 heads on it, yes.
Yep. And then it has GT40 heads. 23,000. That don't seem too bad for.
No, everything's been done on this. It's a really good running 302 in it. The interior is really clean also in this.
Yeah, both of these cars they present well here in the car.
And my
corral.
buddy painted it about a year ago. It was like a gray color. He didn't like the quality of the paint, so he repainted it.
I do like it's like a cream with like a beige stripe. You don't see that very often.
No, and I think it was like a Hertz car, like a rental car color.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so that's when he seen that's what he went with.
Awesome. Well, Walter, people ask us about what cars sell for all the time. This car sold for $23,000. They're asking $37,000 for this car. And thank you for your time.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Yes.
So I'm standing here with Mr. Winston, and this is Jim Winston. These are all his trucks he has here for sale. And what can you tell us about him, Mr. Winston?
This one here is a 1970 Ford, and it's an 8-foot step side. They didn't make it, so somebody built it.
Somebody built
So that'd be a 54 to a 1976 bed.
It's giving me sort of like Warlock vibes or
Yeah.
Midnight Express vibes.
Yep,
That's
yep,
kind of like the paint
yep.
scheme.
No motor, no tranny, and this one's $7,200.
$7,200.
Yeah, because it's just unique,
We'll get you more of the view of the
Yep.
truck over here. And it's you said an 8-foot bed, or can you
It's
explain
an 8-foot bed, 8-foot step side, which they did not make,
make.
in 70 to 72.
Okay. Custom made.
So they took the fleet side off and put the step side on it.
Gotcha. Okay.
And then this one here is a 57 Chevy. I bought this 2 hours south of Fort Worth, Texas. It's on an 82 Blazer.
Yeah, it is.
And it's got an 86 engine and tranny, Blazer engine and tranny. The cab mounts are made, needs bed mounts, needs a front core support mount. But it is just a beautiful truck. Look inside the door, look at the floorboards, how nice that is. And it's $7,500.
$7,500.
Yep.
Okay. And the cab corners look pretty good on this one. I know
Yep.
they have issues there with the tri-5.
Usually the step isn't there, the cab floor isn't there, you know. And I would never paint this truck. This would get chrome bumpers, polish up the wheels instead of, Set of new Coopers, you know what I
that about
mean?
you, Jim.
And be driven around town.
Absolutely, I totally agree. And now, what is this thing behind
This is
us?
a 48 REO Speedwagon. When the band seen that, that's when they made their name. Yep, they pulled into a truck stop and seen that, and they said, that's what we're going to call our band. Yep. I
you're
bought
right.
this in Lincoln, Nebraska.
It is a beautiful truck.
You know, it's solid as a rock, you know?
REO Speedwagon.
Now, usually I'll buy something like this, and I put a 4-cylinder common rail Cummins in it, and then drive it around.
Oh, so you
Yes.
come and swap it.
Yep.
Gotcha,
Yep.
gotcha. Okay. I mean, it just looks like an original truck.
Right. And then up in the bed, we got a Ford F6.
A Ford F6. You mind if I get up this ladder?
Yep, the Ford F6. I bought that in Missoula, Montana.
We'll give them a tour here.
I got that in Missoula, Montana.
And what exactly is a Ford F6?
It just was the bigger, like, grain trucks and stuff like that, kind of like this for on farms,
Okay.
you know. And, yep. They're dump trucks. They use them for the bigger dump trucks, you know.
Gotcha. And this is $4,000 for
Yep,
this car?
Yep.
Or
and
this
then
truck?
this is an REO Comet.
Ooh.
Yep. And I got that in Oklahoma City.
Now, this is a 49.
Right,
And
49.
And this is a 48.
Right.
What? is
One's
this-
a Comet, one's the REO Speed. The REO had that style hood
That
for
style
about
hood.
4 years, and the Comet was the hair wider here.
Gotcha.
You know, and that's the difference.
Which one's the better truck?
They're both about the same. I love them both done. It
love
don't
both?
matter.
Okay.
It does not matter.
And then the last car or the last truck you had was this one right
Yeah,
here.
this here.
Oh, look at that tailgate.
Yep.
If that
Alabama.
If that doesn't.
If that
scream-
don't say it came from Alabama, nothing does.
I might need that to put on the wall.
You know what I mean?
That's pretty cool.
Hey, that gave me an idea, though. I'm going to do a Winston because my name's Winston. You know what I mean? A Winston tailgate outside.
And that was being covered.
Now, what year is this one?
74.
Yeah, this here's a 74 from Alabama.
So this is a 74.
74 Ford, 6 foot, you know, not all rusted up. You just don't find them like that anymore. Has a 351 in it. Good running truck, but it doesn't stop. There's no brakes.
Is this a short
So
bed?
if you want to drive her home, you got to use the emergency brake the whole way.
This is a short bed or no?
Yeah, short bed.
Yep. Gotcha. Emergency brake the whole way home.
Yeah, yep.
And if they want to get in contact with you, how much are you asking for this one?
This one is 72, I do believe.
Right here, 7,300.
7,200.
7,200. Okay, and we'll get this is a
73,
different phone number
73.
than the one over there, right?
Yeah. Yeah. That'd be
This is your buddy's
that'd be Chuck's phone number.
Gotcha. Okay.
And you know, you don't find this, even though it's not that old a truck, you don't find them in that condition. Short bed.
Short bed,
You know, 87 with 58,000 original mile on it from Alabama.
And that's this one behind
Yep. Yep.
you. And did you drive the whole way here from Alabama?
Yeah, I run out west about 4 times a year. I make a vacation out of it. If I don't have to be home, I go.
You go.
I never leave when I got to be home in 2 weeks. You know, and I just make a vacation on it, and I find stuff and I buy it and bring it back. And I usually keep about everything. This is just my overflow.
Your overflow. Now, this is the 50th anniversary at Carlisle here. How long have you been coming here?
I've been coming here 50 years.
50 years. 50
Yep.
years.
First year I came, I was selling race car stuff.
Really?
And I found out I could make money. And I ruined it.
Well, Jim, hey, I appreciate your time. Thank you so much.
Yep, we did the 57, right?
Yep,
So
we did the
we're
57.
done.
Yep. People ask me what I base my prices on or how I kind of figure out what a car is worth. And the gentleman that owns these cars has been in the Mustang world for a very, very, very long time and usually pretty good on prices. But this right here is a 1965 Mustang, and it's kind of like a one that we took a look at earlier. It's a 289 C-code car, so it just has the small block 2-barrel on it. Nothing crazy, kind of like that $8,000 one we seen on top of the trailer, except this one is a convertible. Looks like an older restoration, or maybe it's unrestored, I'm not sure. We can see that it probably has the forelug, that's why it has the hubcaps on here instead of the actual wheels like on the last Mustang that we took a look at. But this is kind of like your just basic bare bones run-of-the-mill Mustang that if someone was looking for a convertible what is just a regular car that they could buy? That's what this car is, and it's $26,900. So that's kind of where it puts it at my range of what I think a regular Mustang is worth, and then you can take your parts and add parts on in here, and that's probably why the guy bought that one for $23,000 earlier in the video. This car behind us right here is really, really cool. This is a 1970 Cobra Jet sports roof car. Now, a few people have actually gone to the window, looked inside, said, hey, this car doesn't have any of the stuff on the inside for a Mach 1, and that's because it's not. It's just a Cobra Jet car, but it's a Q-code Cobra Jet car, and what that means is it doesn't have the shaker hood or the hood scoop or anything like that. You could have a Q-code car with a hood scoop, but this one is no shaker hood on it at all, and you can see the 428 4-barrel down inside there. Also like the color on this car. Haven't really seen a Mustang in this color for quite some time. The owner is asking $89,400, and what does it say here? It says, oh, it is an automatic car, one of 29 built with the Q code 428. Okay, so that would probably be sports roofs, not Mach 1s. It probably has the Mach, oh, here's the model report right here. Oh, okay, one of 29 had the automatic transmissions in the sports roof. That's where I'm seeing it. Okay, gotcha. But I mean, what do you guys think? I like the color of this car. You don't really see Mustangs in them very often. The car behind it here is a Boss 302, 1970 Boss 302. And the cool thing about Boss Mustangs is it doesn't matter if it was 69 or 70, they both had this same quarter panel on them. Original, now there's not a 69 around here, original 69 Mustangs have the scoop in there. But you can see that this car also has the shaker hood on it. Now, if that car over there was a R code, it would most likely have the shaker hood on it also, so that's different with this one. Another cool thing about 302 Boss Mustangs is this scoop down here is actually, looks similar to the Boss 429s, but it's a little bit longer because these cars sit higher than the 429s. We can see that this gentleman's asking $97,500 for this car. It is in Wimbledon white, and of course we know that it is a Boss 302 because it has a G for the engine code in the VIN number. Basically, a barn find here is a 1970 Camaro, and a lot of people will realize that this is a full bumper 70 Camaro. It doesn't have the split. If it had the split right here, it would be a Rally Sport option. But what's cool is that this is actually a 6-cylinder car. Nothing too crazy. Everything does look pretty sanitary down in there. It looks a little rusty, a little rough, but it doesn't look too bad. Doesn't look like the outside of the car or down the side. We'll take a look at that now. It does say that this car comes with a 454 motor, never been fired, GM fenders, GM doors. Those are expensive pieces, but you can see how it does have a lot of rot here in the top. Nothing too crazy for a $12,000 Camaro. We take a look back here in the trunk. We do, I am much happier looking back here. It does look like it is pretty solid. Of course, it's going to need touched up here and there, but it doesn't look like it needs a full trunk pan. I don't know. What do you guys think? $12,000? I think it's $12,000. Yeah, $12,500. What do you guys think in the comments below? Would you purchase this car with the new 454? So here's a truck that's sold. I'm terrible with trucks. This is a 1972. And I'm trying to see what the price was. Asking price $21,900. So you guys are in the C10 market, 72 C10 market. This looks like it is a long bed, but they were asking $21,900 for this truck, and it has been sold. What does the bed look like on this thing? Just a regular metal bed. Don't want to open it up because it has to a new owner, but it does have posi traction AC. So if you guys are kind of wondering what to pay out there for a C10 truck that's restored, there's a 72 long bed in butternut yellow or orange for $21,500 on your guys' adventure. That's kind of a benchmark for me. I'm standing here with Ed with Powertrain Products, and Ed, how are you?
I'm good, Parker. How are you?
Awesome, awesome. And I wanted to kind of talk to you about all of these engines. I know it's raining out here and we have them covered up, but you have everything pretty much brand new to go that if you wanted to stuff into your car, Ed would be the guy to call. Now, Ed, you're offering this car as a raffle here this weekend, but you have 350 GM crate blocks for only $3,500.
Yep, these are new GM crate. Just your front-of-the-mill replacement, 350 application, 69 to 85, 4-bolt main, all brand new.
Okay. And do you go through a lot of them? Is that a pretty good, I mean, your stuff here seems pretty affordable to me. That's why I'm here talking to you.
The crates are hit and miss. We don't get a lot of them. We get them in lot buys occasionally.
Gotcha.
So
okay.
A lot of times people get them from the dealer. And but we sell a lot of stock 350s on a regular basis and remanufactured.
And are they good to go when you get them, or
Yep, they're all ready to go. You just got to dress them out however
out.
you want, you know, intake,
for the application.
accessories. Yeah,
okay.
Exactly.
And then this looks like a 396 or a 427
yep.
or
Yeah, this is a 396 350 horse motor that we built. We already sold it. We built it to bring it up here specifically. So coming to Carlisle, you kind of want to appeal to everybody. A lot of the older guys want to see some of the older carbureted stuff. And
so 396 ready to go, $3,500, huh? Is
Yep.
that kind of like a normal price that you get for your big block stuff? Or?
I don't sell a lot of big block stuff, to be honest. It's kind of a dying thing for us, which is why there's more LS motors here than.
And speaking of the LS stuff, what is this block?
So this is a 6.0 LQ9 block, found in 02 up Denali, 02 to 06 Denali. We put new GM LS3 heads on it and a cam motion stage 2 custom grind cam that we put together.
And you're asking $4,000 for this engine. I have a LS1 that I have about $6,500 into. So I mean, $4,000 for basically an LS3 is a pretty good deal.
It's a good price. GM sells the same package. I think it's up around 6 right now.
Okay. Awesome, awesome. And then what are some of the engines down here? Because that's kind of what I know LS-wise, but this stuff is kind of stuff you dealing more often.
Kind of go mild to wild. So yeah, this is your earlier LS cast iron.
Okay.
Right? Then we start to get into all aluminum LS3 platforms, LSAs. So we got a couple newer. They're L99, and we've converted them to LS3s. Basically, take the DOD out, put new cams in. Still a brand new connect and cruise, ready for connect and cruise package, essentially.
And when you say L99, for someone like me that doesn't know what that is, what is that?
The L99 was the automatic 10 to 14 Camaro.
Okay.
And then if you got a stick car, you had an LS3. And the main difference between the two engines was the L99 for the automatics had DOD. So
okay. Cool. So automatic is the L99. Gotcha. And then what is this one right here?
This is the same
block?
Same thing, yep.
Okay.
Same thing here. We had a 5.3 here that already sold. It was just a truck block new that we had that we offered up for the sale today.
Gotcha. And this is the big boy stuff down here.
Yeah, we're getting into more power, more complete.
So these here it says LT1 supercharged combo. Basically, LT4 is kind of what it says.
It's kind of it's set up to model the LT4 exactly. It's got a pretty hot cam in it, 750 horsepower. Comes with 6L90 trans and the controller and the wiring harness from GM.
Okay.
So just kind of a drop-in package. Good for trucks because 6L90 is a little bulky.
Gotcha.
So you need a little more room to work with in the frame. Then we offer LS. I've got 2 LSAs.
Yeah, he's got some LSAs here for sale.
Yeah, both of these. We've got one new and one used.
And what would the LSA have been found in?
So you're going to have that in the 9 to 14 Cadillac CTS-Vs
okay.
or the 10 to 14 ZL1 Camaros.
Gotcha, okay. And so if you're building a new Camaro or a GM product, of course, and you want, I mean, this is the motor to have.
Yeah, they're great, reliable.
Opinion. The LSA, they got the superchargers on them on there. You can see he's asking $20,000 for that one and $15,000 for this one because it's used.
Yes, this one's got $25,000. This is brand new.
Gotcha.
Both of them complete packages with transmissions, ECUs. The newer one comes with the wiring harness too.
Okay. And I see your phone number back here. Where are you located at, and how can they get a hold of you, Ed?
So we're on the Eastern Shore of Maryland in Stevensville specifically, but we sell and ship all over the country from powertrainproducts.net.
Gotcha. Awesome, Ed. Well, thank you so much.
Absolutely. Thank you, man.
Yep.
Appreciate it.
Yep. So this is a 1978 Mustang King Cobra. Now you could have got a Cobra too, but this is the King Cobra. Now they made about 5,000 of these cars in 1978, and the cool thing is you can see that it has a 5.0 underneath this greatly ornate hood. One of the coolest designs that I've seen in a while. But what I think is really cool is this car is just body kitted all over the place. I mean, look how close it is to the ground. I'm sure he scraped it when he backed it into the spot here. But these cars were known for having these specific style wheels on it. They're pretty small, but they kind of remind me of like an early BBS. Now, this car is sold. It was offered for sale for $26,500. You can see that it comes with the Marty Report, window sticker, everything there. We've been walking around here all day. This car is a car that has basically stopped me in my tracks and has stopped everybody that I've seen looking at this car in their tracks. The paint on this car is immaculate. I'm not sure if it's repainted or if it's original paint, but you just don't see the Mustang 2s that look just like this out in the wild, and let alone this condition. I'm not going to open it up because it is someone else's car now, but the interior does look just as nice as the outside. I personally think these cars are going to start coming up in value just because they're weird, they're quirky, not a lot of people saved them, and you just don't see them in this nice a condition. So I'm standing here with James with Classic Car Cafe, and James, how are you?
Parker, pleasure.
Pleasure. And
I am good.
first of all, I see you guys at basically every event that I go to, and for those at home, what is Classic Car Cafe, or could you tell the audience a little bit more about that?
I've been dealing with these cars for a long time, and Memory Auto Sales is my auto sales name for decades.
Okay.
But I bought this old garage in town that was kind of sitting there. An old man had it back in the day, busy place, and it sat. And I bought it and I renovated it, and I just wanted to give it a different name than my current name because it's
Okay.
a different location. But it's mainly storage, cars that I have for sale, some of my personal stuff, and that's it. I kind of staged some cars that we're doing restorations to there.
Is there an actual cafe
it's
involved?
kind of a showroom. Well, we made a little party room in the back.
Party room in the back. Okay.
Maybe in the future.
I got you.
We
I
got
got
some
you.
ideas, but we have some events there, and
Awesome.
we got a Christmas tree. It's the entrance to town, so we do like a Christmas tree lighting event every year, Christmas time, Santa Claus, and that kind of stuff.
Awesome,
So,
awesome.
Anyway,
Well, yeah, let's get into the cars here. And so this one's actually Scott's car, your partner,
this is
I guess.
Scott's. Yep, Scott's Kirshner and Ron.
Gotcha.
His dad had
It's
this car.
a 65 Chevelle convertible, of course. Has a 396 down in there. Is it an automatic car or?
Yes.
Yeah, automatic car.
Yep.
I like the color on this car a lot. I mean, you see a lot of cars here at Carlisle. I know it's raining. A lot of cars outside don't look great right now because of the rain, but I mean, I was walking around here the other day and the paint on this car just is immaculate.
It is, and outside it looks way different. There's a lot of metallic in here that you can't see right now.
When the sun hits it,
It really does.
Gives it that pop?
Yeah, I imagine we could put a light on it and see it, but outside in the sun, it certainly pops.
and you're asking $44,900 for this car. And does it need anything or anything like that, or is it good to go? Or?
It's good to go, and that's the good thing about this car. This was built, actually, the Classic Cars Cafe garage. The guy lived a quarter mile from there.
Okay.
I could walk there. And he built this car, frame-off restoration, years back, and built it to drive. So he would drive it every year from where we are up to Lake George, to the Adirondack Nationals,
Okay.
3.5-hour ride, and the car is super reliable. We had it last year at Ocean City with the top down at the car show down there.
Didn't overheat or anything like that?
No, ran amazing. We had a good time.
Sounds good.
Me and Scott had our wives with us, had the top down. It was really cool to cruise the beach. Everything was new. It was total rotisserie frame off, and it is super reliable.
Definitely would be a nice showpiece in somebody's garage. I can kind of
For
see
sure.
the metallic flake in the light.
Yeah,
right
if
there
you get a
little
little
bit.
light on there, you'll see it. Yep.
Well, another Chevelle you have behind us here is this 67, and this thing is definitely where at least to me, the market is headed. You know,
It is.
It's kind of like a Resto-mod. It looks like it has all the right pieces. The big brakes. You got the LS engine in here, and
Yep,
this is an
correct.
LS2.
It's an LS2. Yeah, 2005 Corvette motor.
Yeah, I see it has the 243 heads down here. They would have been on the same as the LS6
Right.
as well. But I mean, everything on this car. What are you asking for this one?
I have 85 on the window.
85 on the window.
Probably a little negotiable from there.
Okay.
But I think people that build these cars realize
I think that's
how much
low,
money
personally.
and time's involved. I do too. I think it's very well worth that. I think it's a six-figure car at the right auction and at the right place. And like you said, it's got the right stuff that a Resto-mod should have. It has a power top, power windows, power seat, power disc brakes, four-wheel Willwood brakes all the way around, suspension's done, Bluetooth stereo, you know, like the late model.
And you were saying the
retro
guy kind of
stuff.
like, this was his pride and joy, but he had to move or something like that.
It was kind of a long story. I won't really get into it. It
Gotcha.
didn't end up well. He ended up moving somewhere that he didn't like, and he doesn't know where he was gonna, or didn't know where he was gonna be.
You were telling me
So-
something about an interior shop, and the interior on this car is leather, and it's super, super
It is
nice.
done nice. Some cool touches. The trunk's done as well. We don't have it open. I have some stuff in there.
Gotcha.
Another little cool feature that I like. He said he spent a lot of time recessing the gauges.
Oh wow, look at that.
Where normally when you buy the new gauge setup,
Look at the
they're-
gauges in that car.
they're up front, but they're recessed, and he custom made the curved glass so they're set back like the factory.
That is pretty
You know, a
sweet.
little deeper. So little touches. It has 35 miles on it since it's done.
35.
It had about 20 when I got it, so I put 15 test miles, and I drove it on a couple nice days.
And you guys come into cars like this all the time. You guys are always at the swap meets, buying and selling and trading. Is that kind of, if someone's looking for something like this, can they give you a call or?
They can. I know where there's a lot of cars. I can only buy so many myself.
People
And
ask me the same thing, and I can only be in so many places.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'm glad to give any advice or help anybody locate a car if I can. I put deals together all the time, and I enjoy that.
Awesome. So if they want to get a hold of you, how can they do that?
Well, it's Classic Cars Cafe. You know the way things are with social media now. I think I'm using Facebook probably more than any website.
Me too.
Or, you know.
And
But
the
I
phone
have-
number down there. At least
I have one
for you.
phone number for my whole life. That's my business. That's my cell. That's everything. So
Awesome. Well, James,
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you for letting
thanks
me check
for
it
what
out.
you do, man. You do a
Yep.
great job. I love watching your videos,
Appreciate
and it's great to know you over these years.
Thank you.
Thanks, pal.
Yep. But at one point in my life, I could not give a Duster away. Literally could not give the Duster away. However, they're starting to become a little bit more popular, and that's because the other Mopars are getting a little bit more expensive. This is a car, it's a 1973 Petty Blue H-Code Plymouth Duster. Now, it's a 73, doesn't have the bumper guards in the front here, but it is a 340 H-Code car, which was pretty high performance in 1973. Now, it does have a bench seat, and it is on the column. But I wanted to see exactly how much they're asking for this car. Of course, it's got the different taillights in the back for the 73. Says that it does have a posi rear end. You know, basically that's all you need. 340 motor, posi rear end. You're having a good time. It's offered for sale for $22,500. The gentleman's phone number is right there. We have an Oldsmobile W30, and I'm standing here with Mark, and Mark is the owner of this car.
How you
And
doing?
Mark, this is actually a recreation of a W30. And Mark, what can you tell us about this car? What did it take to recreate this car into a W30 clone?
Well, it took a real W30 car
Oh, it did. Okay.
that we obtained all the pieces to make it a W30.
So it took two cars to make this car?
It did.
It did. Okay.
It did. This, as all Cutlass convertibles are, they're Cutlass Supremes,
Gotcha.
and a 442 or a W30 car is a Cutlass Supreme in a convertible.
Okay.
And what makes a 442 or a W30 are the parts that Oldsmobile put onto the car.
And that would be like the engine parts, right?
It would be more than that. It's
Okay.
the engine parts,
Gotcha.
which are all special. It included the engine itself,
It was different internally a little bit.
Internally and externally.
Okay.
The intake, the carburation, and the things like the radiator, air cleaner, all made what's called the performance package in the W30.
Gotcha.
That's
okay.
what the W30 is, the performance package.
So it wasn't like an aesthetic package or
No,
anything like that.
But the hood, which is the original W30 hood,
okay.
was part of that package.
And the inner fenders.
The inner fenders, which were the red inners.
The reds in here. Gotcha. Okay.
Which are original W30. You know, from those are original, not reproduced ones. And then it consists of the gauge package, which has a tack and a clock, along with the shifter. This is an automatic transmission, and it has what's called a his/her shift.
Okay.
And also it has the heavy-duty transmission, which is a turbo 400.
Now, were all W30s, were they 4-speeds, or could you get an automatic or a 4-speed?
You could get both.
You could get both. Okay.
And then it took the special rear end.
Oh, this has the W27 rear end in it?
Yes.
Oh, let me take a look at that. And that's the aluminum cover, right?
Yeah. And that is original.
That's an original piece?
Yeah.
And now for the W30 package, did they all got the W25 hood on it with the air cleaner and stuff underneath? So it's kind of like a Ram Air basically is the way that
right,
that works?
with the special air cleaner.
With the special air cleaner? Okay. And what are different about the heads? I know the heads are a little bit different, right? Are they just better flowing?
The heads are freer flowing. Their
okay.
performance, they're called F heads.
F heads, gotcha.
And
is that why it has the F right here?
Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay, cool.
And also the exhaust manifolds are for W30.
W30, they're a little bit different?
Yeah.
And what are you asking for this car?
$47,000.
47. And we can get Mark's phone number. Mark, thank you for talking to us about it here.
Okay.
I want to get the audience your phone number. I believe it's on that paper, right? If you guys have any questions for Mark, there's his phone number there. And I know it's raining out here, but what color is this? Here's the correct, all of the stuff that's been done to this car. What color is this called?
Brown.
Brown. Just brown. I don't know. It's not a color I see very often.
This car has the original top.
The original top. Okay.
And the original interior.
The original interior.
Yep.
Awesome. Thank you, Mark. Thank you.
Thank
so
you
much.
very much.
Yep.
Appreciate it.
Yep. Some of the last cars we have at the show here is this square body dually pickup. And what's cool about this is it is a flatbed, but it's actually 4-wheel drive. So we know it's an 83 or 84 because it has the dual headlights on it. But you can see the drive shaft for the front wheels right here. And on a rollback, that is pretty damn sweet. Just something you really don't see every day. Of course, it's got an aluminum bed, Jerdan bed on it. They are made in my hometown, right down the street from here. So that's why I'm kind of interested in it. But what we'll also do is take a look at the 68 C10 next to it. Of course, I don't believe the dually is for sale, but this C10 is for sale for $18,500. Doesn't seem like a bad price to me for the way that this trike looks. Of course, we know it's a 68. By the grill. Of course, later on, it would actually get the headlights in here, and it would also say Chevrolet when they switch to 69 and then 70. It does look to be a short bed, but just had a quick spray job on it, $18,500. Again, we have a 55 Chevrolet here. Looks like it was tubbed out. They're asking about $21,500. I don't see a phone number for these cars here. I believe, not sure if it's on that one or not, but it does have a big block down inside. And of course, we do have a 68 Firebird. Looks like kind of like a barn find type car. But what's cool about the 68 Firebirds is the logo here. And not a lot of people know that this is actually called the Sick Chicken logo. And that's because the feathers go down, the head's to the side. It was originally taken from a Hopi Indian tribe jewelry. Later on, when they would switch over to the Trans Ams from the 70s that we're all familiar with, that would become the Screaming Chicken, not the Sick Chicken. And that's because the wings on those cars go up and the bird is screaming. Well, guys, we came, we saw, we conquered. I hope you guys enjoyed the tour of Carlisle Spring 2024. Again, this is the 50th anniversary of this event has been going on, and it happens in the spring every year. If you found value in this video, please give us a like, a comment, or a subscribe. Again, my name is Parker with Backyard Barn Finds, and have a great day.